We have two types of people when it comes to making the decision of buying a home or establishing a home. We have a group I call wealth creation conscious people, and then we have the people I call the comfort conscious people. The comfort conscious people will stop at nothing to have their own home. These are the people who say, for me, the knowledge that I am coming from my home is enough. It doesn't matter whether it is costing me an arm and a leg, as long as I am not paying anyone rent and I am coming from my own house. For me, that is an investment. It's a good thing. I am okay with it. I will not listen to anyone. Then we have the wealth creation conscious. Those ones, before they make any decision, they want to do some calculations and see that it makes some sense. Because sometimes you can dig a very big hole for yourself. You can attract trouble for yourself, thinking that you are investing. There are very many people I have interacted with who made decisions that looked to be very good decisions. For example, if someone comes and tells you that now they have built their own home, maybe they have taken a mortgage or they have taken whichever loan, they have established a home, we may clap for them because it looks like a very brilliant idea. However, if they did not consider everything that needs to be considered before they made that choice, it might come back to eat them. Because many times we tell ourselves that a home will be appreciating, and that is the truth in many cases. But you also have to be cautious not to be taken advantage of. So if you find a good deal, no problem. But also sit down and do your maths. Ask yourself, how will I survive after establishing this home? For example, when you establish your own home, there are other things that will be happening. There will be service charge. There will be probably the need for a security person, the need to maybe drill water and all those things, those incidental costs. Just think about them and ask yourself, am I comfortable with this? And after they start deducting this loan, am I capable of surviving without issues? Because I don't want you to do an investment that is very brilliant in the eyes of the rest of us, but then it pushes you into the trap of debt and you start struggling. From a wealth creation perspective, it needs to make financial sense, in the sense that if you're borrowing for it, do you have the ability to repay? Number two, are you able to survive when repayments are loaded and continue operating smoothly in that new place? Then you also have to think about what it is costing you to operate from this new home. For example, there is someone who will establish their own home. They are running away from rent. They were paying rent 20,000 shillings and they were paying transport 5,000 shillings per month, a total of 25, rent and call it housing and transport. Now they have gone to establish a home very far away, and they'll be paying a mortgage, say 35,000 shillings per month. But now that their transportation has shifted from 5,000 to say 15,000 because they've gone very far away from their workstation. And so when you factor in all those changes, you might begin to realize, oh, maybe you are losing even more than what you're calling an investment. And that's why I said there is this group I call the comfort-oriented people. Them, they are looking at the peace they get from the knowledge that this place they live in is their own. They're not paying anyone rent. And in the fullness of time, they know that this place will be appreciating in value. They don't care when they'll break even. They might break even after 50 years when they are no longer there, but it is fine for them as long as I'm coming from my own house. Even if it is expensive to operate from my own house, I'm okay. But the guys who are wealth conscious will realize, wealth creation conscious will realize that they have to think about what it is costing them for them to be in this investment. They'll think about the returns. They'll want to compare. If I'm paying monthly installment this, how does it compare with the rent I've been paying? If they are close to each other, then it will make a lot of sense, because why pay rent for something that will not be yours at the end of the day, and you have an opportunity to pay the same amount for something that eventually will become yours. So there's that argument. But what I'm trying to say here is that don't do it blindly.